Hey, it's Allison. So today I'm going to talk about how it was to go through this children's literature class. Um, because I had already worked in libraries for a while, especially with children and doing story times and stuff, as well as big time of a lot of like young adult novels, especially recorded and stuff, but this was a whole different experience. Some of these ones, especially the historical realism, was just so profound and inspiring to read. And now I finally get why librarians are reading all the time on their jobs. Like, I used to not get it as a bookseller, and now I'm like, oh, this makes complete sense. And it's so much easier to be able to help patrons and show them, like, oh, this works for you. Oh, we're out of that. Here, how about this book instead? And it was really amazing. I definitely think I met my goals and objectives, even though a lot of life got in the way and COVID and just a lot of messed up stuff. But despite all that, I still think my personal expectations were met. Eventually, I had high expectations, so I had to kind of lower them at some point, which is tricky, but needed. Unfortunately, definitely needed. But I feel like I already do a better job at my library. I find children's books easier, and knowing which ones are more versatile and more timeless in their relatability. It's just really great. I really enjoyed it. I want to go back and reread some of those books. I'll highly be recommending some of them to others, and it's definitely expanded my knowledge and sometimes my experiences with children's literature. I mean, I knew it had been changing for a while, but I didn't realize, I guess, how progressive some had already been. There were older books that I didn't maybe get to read when I was a kid, but were actually still around, or were already around, not still around, wrong tense. I have definitely a whole lot more confidence in being able to select children's books. I already had a lot anyways, but now it's even more, even without knowing like all the classics, even though as somebody who's worked in a rural library environment as well as a urban library environment, and seen that there are new wave librarians and old school librarians in both environments. Each one of those subgroups has their own different way of doing things and their own preferences and their own idea of what classic and timeless storybooks are. But I think this, especially paired with some of my other courses, have really helped me have a better idea of the type of librarian I want to be and the type of services I'd like to provide, especially when it comes to children's books. Being able to bring out awareness and advocate for certain titles and authors and series. It feels really good. It feels really good to know more about it, to, I don't know, have a little more weight to the talk, I guess. So I've been thrown in a lot of situations where I've had to figure it out on the fly, but now I actually know more about it. So, I don't know, I always feel like more education, more knowledge is power. It helps prepare you for the future in whatever way. Let's see, anything else? Oh, My Heart on the Ground is so good. It's definitely made me also reflect a lot about my own indigenous roots and how evil colonialism is, which I'm always talking about, I feel like, these days. The evil of colonialism, not my indigenous roots, because as you can see, I'm like the palest of pale and very blue eyes. So I have a stronger Irish background than anything else, but there are some indigenous roots we're eventually gonna uncover and figure out fully. But yeah, that's it. Thanks so much. Take care.